Well, hello there. I'm Jeannie. Welcome to Mimicraft, your home for all things creative and DIY on a budget. I make all the mistakes, so you don't have to. Our first project today is a serving/display tray. You'll need 59 brown and 66 natural Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks, some wood glue, this is Dollar Tree's brand, 29 craft sticks if I counted right, and some toothpicks. The first row will be 7 brown blocks and 6 natural blocks glued in this order. Be sure to center the blocks as you glue. Be sure to remove any excess glue with a damp rag or towel. The second row starts with 7 natural blocks going horizontally and 6 brown blocks going vertically. Repeat this pattern until you're down to only 8 natural blocks left. Might want to pause here, take a screenshot for reference. I'll wait. Geez, you guys are slow. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take popsicle sticks and we're going to place them over all the joints. If I counted right, it's 29. It's 28 whole ones, and I've got one that's busted in half. Enjoy. With the remaining 8 natural blocks, we're going to make handles. Start by taking 4 blocks and glue 2 sets of 2 as seen on screen. Glue 1 block on each end of each handle to create the sides. Cut popsicle sticks to fit the underside of each handle. Then glue them down. That will support the center joint. Now you're going to reinforce the sides with toothpicks. What I'm doing here is screwing a hole about 3/4 of an inch deep right there at that joint. Putting glue on the end of the toothpick and placing it into the hole that we drilled. This will be like putting a dowel, like dowel joinery in woodworking. When dry, cut the remaining portion of the toothpick flush with the side of the handle. Smooth it with sandpaper and fill all the joints with natural wood filler. If you don't like the way it looks where the toothpick is, you can put a little bit of wood filler on that spot as well. When it's all dry, sand it down smooth. Glue each handle to the center of each short side. One of my subscribers, Bonnie, suggested that I use a paintbrush and a little bit of water to remove any excess glue. This worked out fantastic. Thank you so much, Bonnie. When the handles have dried, flip your tray over and reinforce the handles with toothpicks. This time I did 2 holes on each side just for extra strength. I got smart this time and used some wire cutters. Whee! And this is how mine turned out. Project number 2 is a dupe of a clock I saw on Pinterest. You'll need 165 tumbling tower blocks. 75 of them should be the natural color. Some wood glue. Some black paint. I used Waverly in the color ink. A 12-inch round wood sign. I got mine on Amazon with no holes in it. Dollar Tree has these if you decide to get one of those. These, you're going to have to fill in the holes with some wood filler. Some antique wax, I used Waverly. A clock mechanism, these are both from Amazon and they're very, very affordable. A metal floral ring at least 14 inches in diameter. I got mine in a pack of 3 at Dollar Tree. They're also available at Michael's, and I'm sure you can find some on Amazon as well. Some gold rub and buff. I purchased mine at Hobby Lobby. Some E6000 glue. I got mine at Walmart. And matte Mod Podge. Glue together 75 natural blocks, 15 wide by 5 tall, as seen on screen. Glue together another 75. I use the brown blocks because we're going to be painting them. You can use natural if that's what you have. Just make sure that it ends up being the same size as the first 75 that you glued together. The top of mine was a little wonky, so I used a square to draw a line. Next, I use a very heavy grip sandpaper to sand down to that line so that my 75 piece block set would be square on all 4 sides. Next, I used natural wood filler to fill in all of these spaces. I used a damp piece of old t-shirt. Make sure it's nasty as you can get. Put it on the t-shirt and just start wiping in. Wipe off all the excess with the damp rag, being careful not to remove any of the wood filler from the crevices, and then let it completely dry. I highly recommend sanding. You don't have to, but if you don't, I will take your lunch money. Do the same for the other block set. This is how my brown block set turned out. Paint the front and sides with your black paint. Line these up and glue them together. I don't know why I flipped them over, but I flipped them over. I remember why. It's so that the front would be completely flat. I recommend letting this set up a few hours or maybe even overnight before handling it. This would be a good time to put a hanger on. I chose a sawtooth hanger. Do what you want to do, and sorry I didn't include that in the supplies. When completely dry, flip it over and seal it with matte Mod Podge. Now use your antiquing wax to stain your wood round. If you chose the Dollar Tree wood round, you're going to have to fill in those holes with some wood filler first. You're going to put the antique wax on all over the wood, and then you're going to wipe it back after it's all applied. Next, make a paper template for your clock face. Start by tracing your wood round. This is how you use scissors. You're welcome. Fold the template into quarters. Snip a tiny piece of that corner off, and that will give you a hole for the center of your template. This is what I Googled to section off the circle into 12s. Cut it out and center it on your template. Refer to the cutting tutorial earlier in the video if necessary. Mark all 12 lines. Connect all 12 lines. I wanted my template to be about a 1/4 inch smaller for number placement, so I figured out a 1/4 inch, marked all the way around, and trimmed it to be a 1/4 inch smaller. Yeah, I could have made a circle that was a 1/4 inch littler to begin with, but it's my channel and I'll do whatever I want. Trim off that 1/4 inch and there will be a quiz at the end of the video. Center the template on the wood round and mark each of the 12 spots where your numbers are going to go. We're going to use blocks instead of numbers. Just in case math wasn't your best subject, you will need 12 blocks for the numbers. They should all be the same size. They're going to be glued down with the end of each block at each one of those markings. Glue on opposite numbers with a ruler to keep things straight. This time I removed the excess glue with the toothpick. Sorry, Bonnie. When dry, seal the entire piece with Mod Podge. As you can see, I forgot and did it out of order. Place the block on top of your wood round and measure the width of the block plus the thickness of your wood round to determine the shaft length you'll need for the clock mechanism that you buy. I'm pretty sure this one from Amazon will fit. I'll leave a link in the description, but please do your own measuring and don't just go by the link. An easier alternative would be this style of clock mechanism. I'll leave a link in the description box below. This type can go just right on top of the wood round instead of underneath and through the wood round. This is the clock I just showed you with the hands trimmed down. I wanted this to look just like the Pinterest clock, so I took it apart so that I could use just the hands. First, I made an indentation in the middle of the clock face. and then drilled a hole big enough for the clock to go through. The clock mechanism goes on the back of the clock, and the shaft goes through the little hole to the front. Screw the nut over the shaft to tighten up the whole clock mechanism, and then snap the hands back on. It's real easy. I use command strips to attach the clock face to the back. These were recycled, so I'm using hot glue to put them on. That way I can take the clock on and off to change the battery or adjust the time. I added 3 blocks to the back of the clock face to stabilize it on the wood. You'll see that one of the blocks I placed on the left should have been placed on the right. Dyslexia, I guess. Please ignore the ring in the background. That'll be coming up. I place hot glue on the other side of the command strip. Remember, if you have a brand new command strip, all you have to do is peel off the backing and then just place the clock face on my wood backer and held it down until the glue set. The floral ring I purchased from Dollar Tree wasn't very pretty, so I decided to add rub and buff to it to make it a little bit more gold. If you buy one that's already a nice color gold, you can skip this step. I dry fit the gold ring so I would know where to place the glue, and I just put a little tape on the ring to mark that area. I used E6000 adhesive and put it on the back side of the ring with the toothpick. It was a little bit tedious and I had no idea if this was going to work or not, but it ended up holding very well. I flipped the ring over, glue side down, and placed it on the backer, and then secured it with tape, and then let it dry overnight. And this is how mine turned out. However, here's the design flaw. The clock won't work because the shaft of my clock was too short. So I put the clock back together, put the Velcro on the back of the clock, and then just glued the clock back on to the front of the clock face. I left those 3 blocks on the back of the clock face and went ahead and glued it to the backer board on those 3 blocks. And this is how that one turned out. I actually like this version better, even though I glued it on upside down. So close and yet so far. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so that you know every time I upload. Also, please leave me a comment, let me know which of these projects you enjoyed the most. Until the next one, bye!